Welcome everyone to Let's Talk Social, my fellow socialites out there. We are going to be talking about Twitter today, and as you have probably seen all over the entire world of news, that Elon Musk has officially made his purchase for, I think it was like $44 billion or something to that effect. The reason that this is a big deal is because Twitter used to shadow ban people, and it was no different for businesses. Whatever the case was, the algorithm it just was not performing optimally, and so Elon is basically taking the current algorithm, putting it into open source code, and allowing the entire world to see it, and then make alterations and edits to it. Elon has also had over 1 million followers every day for the last 3 days now on the platform, getting him up to a whopping 85 million followers now. I just in 86 million followers now, and it's just insane everything that he's doing with it all. And as you have seen on uh, the news, in all seriousness, it honestly should bring a lot of people back to the platform, myself included. I just left because it was just cluttered with the narrative of what the staff of Twitter wanted to show the world. And so with the people coming back, that is why we're even talking about this. That is bringing the businesses back as well, because the market is growing there. So we're going to go over some of the stats on why I think that you should join Twitter again for your business, right? And this is just for I'll tell you what I think about it. We'll wait till we get there. Twitter right now is the world's 7th favorite social media platform, and if I had to guess, it's going to climb a rank or two after all of this. It is currently ranking above Messenger, so Facebook Messenger, which no one uses that for social media purposes. Telegram, decently popular. Pinterest, that's pretty popular. And Snapchat, very popular as well. So it's bigger than Snapchat. A lot of people don't know that. The user count is estimated to grow upwards of 329 million people here in 2022. So it's still about, a seventh of Facebook size. And 1/4 of United States adults use Twitter, actually. So that is pretty crazy, actually, just because only 21% use TikTok. So literally more adults in the United States are actually on Twitter than they are TikTok. 40% of adults also say that they use Instagram less than Twitter or TikTok as well. So that doesn't necessarily mean they're using it more than Twitter, but I think it gives Twitter a little bit of pull in the fight here for attention. That's what us as businesses need, is our customers' attention. We want them to spend time with a brand so that they purchase with us more often. And something also is kind of cool that I read was that YouTubers, or people that have a very strong and loyal following, so that could be you on YouTube, or it could even just be on Facebook or Instagram. If you have a very high number of organic engagement, if your organic engagement's really good, then I would recommend Twitter to you, because it's saying that the YouTube brand itself is the largest account on Twitter, and it has been a huge and strong and powerful brand for basically pushing its narrative. So it's not always selling things necessarily, but promoting its creators and everything else. It itself has gotten a very big following there. I think that we all should be giving Twitter a few months just to see what happens, and only if there is low operational drag to your business. So if you're using a posting software and you schedule everything out, it may not be a big deal to you to just add one more platform and tick that every time you go to post. But if it means setting daily reminders and it ends up becoming a huge hassle for the payoff that your business may get, then it's maybe not the best fit for you. If you have an agency that's posting for you, like mine does for my clients, it is something that is low operational drag to add. It's just ticking a box, and we have to log in, and we save that user profile on there. It does cost a tiny bit more per month, but it's nice because it's the opportunity cost is not very high to just start with it and try out. So after we decide that, now that I've hopefully convinced you to at least give it a shot for a couple months, that we've got a new big breath of fresh air coming into Twitter, I'm going to give you some tips on the way that we can tweet. If it's been a couple years for you, like it has been for me, these might help you out. And there's a couple things that have changed as well. So the recommendation is that we always limit 1 to 2 hashtags per tweet. So not going over that 2 hashtag thing. A lot of reasons for that is just the clutter that it can produce inside the look of the tweet itself. And then on top of that, just the effectiveness, right? We should only really be hashtagging things that are currently trending or specific to your business or your industry. Be conversational, so that's a big thing, right? Like tweet things that people can actually respond to or could say themselves by a retweet. And keep the copy short and sweet. As you know, you can go up to 280 characters, but being concise is inside of Twitter's DNA, and it's also good for marketing. So aim to keep all of your tweets to stay focused to one specific message rather than trying to communicate multiple ideas. Now, if you do have more to say inside of one tweet, link out to your website or start a whole tweet thread so you can reply to yourself and keep that going. But at least it's broken up into individual pieces there. If you can, use images, GIFs, or videos whenever possible, because that's just, as you know, on all platforms, they just do better. I think video still does about 6 times better on average than photos do, and photos do about 20 times better than text on average. So we've got a big jump there when if you can get a short and sweet video in that has one point to it that does really well. And the other thing with those inside of the videos and just tweets in themselves, make very clear calls to action. So every time you tweet, ask yourself, what do I want people to do when they see this? And then write it out and tell your audience to comment below or to follow you or to sign up today. Or if there's something urgent, you need to emphasize it. Don't be shy. Always make sure that the next step that you want them to take is very clear. Add visuals for, especially with video, like I was saying, right? Curate and connect with retweets and replies with bold images, GIFs, videos, any sort of touch of personality that you can use to increase your results. Twitter's internal data revealed that there's over 2 billion video views per day on the platform right now. So for effective and memorable videos, you got to remember to keep your company's logo on there, keep it short, add subtitles so people don't need headphones to listen to it. And the actual sweet spot for Twitter's length right now is similar to TikTok's original beginning length, 6 to 15 seconds. Almost reminds me of Vine in a way, that just how unique Twitter has become these days. It's very reminiscent of Vine. Another thing for your business is to retweet relevant content. So if people are following your page and you're retweeting things that they care about, then that's going to be good because you're providing value to them even through someone else's things. Now, you don't ever see that really on Facebook, and it's pretty seldom on Instagram as well. But think of how often on Facebook you ever go and share someone else's public post to your Facebook page. Doesn't happen often. Not your personal, your business. Doesn't happen often. Normally it's all content that we're creating. So remember that you can rely on those retweets for just getting more content out there. Also, things that you could share would be positive customer feedback that you've had for your business, articles or helpful ideas or topics, maybe this podcast episode, that line up with your business's authentic voice, and make sure that you're responsive to your direct messages as you are on all your platforms. So if you're going to introduce Twitter as another place that you're going to be posting, that's another thing every morning now that you have to check on the messages, or maybe every other day, whatever it is. Like I kind of talked about earlier, the hashtags, including 1 to 2 of them. I made a tweet this morning even, and what I did before I made the tweet was I went straight over to the trending page and looked at all of the hashtags that are currently trending, and I tried to see if any of them applied to what I wanted to talk about. So that's a really important thing to do. Twitter will grab a hashtag. Well, it does multiple at a time, but it's just like TikTok's For You page. A lot of you may be more familiar with that, but it will grab a hashtag and essentially keep that all the posts with that hashtag in lift for a certain period of time of while it's trending. So using those is good because it gets you extra exposure. Focus on keywords that are also relevant to your business, and like I said, kind of stick to 1 or 2 hashtags per tweet. The daily trends on your Explore tab are going to be the best way that you can quickly identify the popular topics that you can try to tie your brand to. And when you do it, try to do it in an authentic way. If it's like hashtag Motivation Monday, you don't need to be posting about your car that you're trying to sell them, right? If you're a car salesman, make it relevant to the actual hashtag itself, or just don't choose that hashtag if you can't make it relevant. Tweet any of your new product launches or any new specials or promotions. Tweeting is a really good way to do that. Twitter is the best platform for brands to kind of launch new things just because it has a quick informational aspect to it. So if you're doing a seasonal promotion or sales or events, it's a great way to do little sneak peeks for all the people that actually do follow you on Twitter. A lot of us starting out are going to have a small, if not next to none, following on Twitter. So you've got to kind of give them a little bit more value than you would on the other platforms. And the other thing, and the last part I would say, especially if you're coming back to Twitter in a revival state, or if you're just starting from scratch, testing everything is the best way to do it. Test the way that you post, test the voice that you're using, look at your analytics and see if images or pictures or videos have been doing better. Just like you do in the other platforms, look at the popular times of day to actually tweet. All of this is going to be good, but you have to actually have a method to the madness. You can't just be testing things and not having a control, or testing things and not even recording anything that's happening. The likelihood of you remembering your analytics and insights for Twitter specifically over 1 month to the next while you're also dealing with everything else inside of your business is probably low, unless you're looking at one metric, which would be like, say, your followers, which is not a good indication. So I want you guys to keep testing out, be bold for your audience, try to give them a lot of value. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be from your page. Rely on those retweets if you have to. Get your voice involved on all the new things inside of Twitter. We also have a ton of new emojis that were just released to the iPhone, so you can have some fun there for an extra little bit of sass or silliness. I think Twitter really provides the opportunity for brands to do things that are very out of character from what they usually do on their other platforms. So that is kind of the whole episode right there for you guys, is that we're going to have a ton of new people growing on this platform. It is going to be a ultimate free speech, town square, as they like to say. It's flooded with people that are loyal brand followers. If you have a really good brand, got to get on here, and ultimately just keep testing things between photo, video, the relevant hashtags, and your actual voice inside of it in yourself. And remember the call to action thing. I think that's one of the biggest parts, is like, what do you want people to do when they see your tweet, right? Do you want them to just laugh at it and get some like comedic value out of it? Do you have a message that you're trying to share? Do you have a mission that you're on to spread awareness for something? Whatever that is, write that out before you get your tweet down, or just say it in your head, right? Like, what do I want them to do? And think of your perfect customer, and say it's someone that comes into your store every month or every week even. What would you have to do to get that person to react to it? And that's how you want to think about it, because that person being your perfect customer inevitably has more people out there just like them. And the more people that you can get as keyboard warriors for you and your brand, the more people that you have supporting you on the platform, the better that your business is inevitably going to do on the performance when it comes to the sales side of things. So that is it for everybody. I know that about like a third of America has no idea what's going on. A tenth of America hates Elon Musk, and about the rest of us just like, think it's kind of whatever. It's cool. I myself, being a social media person, personally think that Elon Musk is a really cool guy. I think that he's basically like the Tony Stark of our day and age, and for him to just do something and buy something for $44 billion. If you go on and just type in like Elon Musk on Google and like look at all the articles, or go on TikTok and see the things that are trending about him, he's getting a lot of flack right now because people think that because he's a billionaire, the second he takes us over, he's going to have control of the world. Whereas we already know Facebook has had a billionaire running it for close to 10 years now. It bought Instagram for only $1 billion, which in my opinion, Instagram is worth like $200 billion by now. So just remember, there are other Goliaths out there, and I think that just with Twitter being in this weird state of change right now, it really does have that like hipstery like kind of bandwagon behind it, of just like how the people were with Vine. It just seems like its own kind of community of people. And so if we can be, as businesses, part of that community and leverage it to our benefit on top of providing value to our customers, I think we should do it. So I'm going to be giving this a shot for my personal page and my business page over the next few months. It's probably going to take us a little bit of time to curate the things that we want to say, but we're just going to be testing things on there. Like I said, we're going to be testing our brand's voice and how we do our calls to action, the actual content that we're putting to the page. I kind of want to be funny with it, right? All of the rest of our social media, we're pretty serious. We go over statistics and analytical data and the things that we can do. I think for Twitter, we're going to be a little bit more spunky, a little bit more funny, and maybe call people out. I have no idea, but we're going to experiment. So if you want to see what we're going to do on our page, hop on over there and follow us on Twitter. It is alpha_social_ is our business page. Let's Talk Social does not have a Twitter account. I'm sorry. If we get there one day, I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm going to roll the outro for you guys right now.